pharmacies. Okay. Let's say the pharmacies are, as I said earlier, 229 pharmacies. 29, yeah. 229 pharmacies. Yeah. And pharmacies, we do have about Maldivians who are registered, that's about 200 and something. Yeah. And foreign pharmacies, of course, we have more than 300 working in Maldives.
And do you have any pharmacy schools in Maldives?
Pharmacy schools?
Yes.
Yes, we do have. It's a one-year course after the school graduation. After high school, they go for this. And from this year, but they are going to start diploma courses. It's 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
So
They give preference to the people who have already done the certificate in pharmacies.
and that means that you have 3 years after high school you get a diploma, right?
Yes, it's a 3-year course, diploma in pharmacy.
We have actually learned from you previously from the conversation, and I know that in your country you have a national formulary, and not many of the drugs are available in your country. So could you explain a little bit about that to us, and about I think some of the patients, if they are realistic, you will transfer them into other countries. Can you mention about a little about the medical drugs?
Your question is the patients?
Yes, the medical care system and also the national formulary system.
Okay. Actually, the thing is that we do have very few doctors in Maldives, mostly not Maldivians, so they come from our neighboring countries. So we don't have facilities that much to do for exams and all those things, like diagnosing, I mean. So once they do the diagnosis and then they start treating, and if it longs for last, then they advise them to go for abroad and then do better testing.
How many medications do you have in your national formula?
There are 3,102 registered drugs.
So I think everyone can understand the situation in Maldives is very different. So actually, but I do appreciate your system to set up a national formula. Because I think you need to calculate very clearly to know how much budget you can spend. Can you say a little bit about that?
I really couldn't get you. Could you repeat it, please?
For example, if you treat your hypertension patient,
Okay.
how many medications are available in your country to
For
treat?
hypertension, like you mean to say the groups of medicines, yeah?
How
For
many?
hypertension, I guess there can be about 5 to 6 drugs.
Yeah. And how do you select those drugs?
Actually, once the local people, when they want to register drugs, they join, say an example, from a group from India. If they want to get registered a drug, they join a local agent there in the country, and they submit the dossier to Maldives Food and Drug Authority. So some of the officers at Maldives Food and Drug Authority, they evaluate the dossier, they do the testing samples, and then it is taken to the pharmaceutical board. And from there, they decide whether it has to be registered or rejected.
I would like to just to clarify. We have also licensed medicines or licensed pharmaceutical products in order to be sold. But the different thing is the national formulary of drugs that that have to be covered by the health systems. We have more than 10,000 drugs that are registered, licensed, and habilitated to be sold in Uruguay, but only in the national formulary of drugs, 600 of them are part of the health coverage. So maybe you have available a large amount of products, but some of them are part of the health coverage. Is there a difference between the numbers of drugs that are licensed in your country and the national formulary?
Actually, the drugs which are not licensed in the country is not possible to import. So the officers who go for inspection at the port, they will see the drug list, and if it is not registered in our approved drug list, it's held. Only the registered company and the registered generics can be imported to the country.
Do you have a national formulary?
We do not have that, because most of the drugs come from India, and we believe that are from Indian pharmacopoeia.
They combine two treatments. I just guess.
I remember last time the other lady in Bangkok from Maldives, she said that your system about just a very little amount of medication. Do you both of the national formula and the application for imported to your country are the same? Is that only one system to do the two things together?
It means, if I understand correctly, okay, because in Maldives you have only 300,000 population, right? Most of them are tourists, and also a lot of tourists. But the medical care system is quite, how to say, maybe relatively simple, because if any severe, right, because you have only limited number of medical doctors, so any severe problem you will refer to the other countries, okay, right? So they only need maybe limited items of pharmaceuticals. So number one, any product want to into a market should be approved before the marketing, right? But maybe at the same time, when they are going to approve, they make the decision to choose the cheaper one, because it will be a relatively simple way to deal with this. Instead of, in a big country, it's a kind of a two-steps concept. But for a relatively a small country, maybe just one step, to cover these two parts. If I understand correctly, maybe that's where that's the
That's
the
why
way
you
you
have
go.
mentioned it's same. There's no difference.
Our president will get a presidency.
Thank you.
Maldives officer